It is said that the name Caltanissetta derives from the Arabic Kalat Anissa, the castle of women. But what was Caltanissetta called before the arrival of the Arabs? And what if the word Nisa did not refer to women, but to a nymph and a mountain? According to Greek mythology, Nisa was the nymph who raised Dionysus, the god of wine and rebirth, on the mountain that bore her very name, together with her sisters. The nymphs were spirits of nature, divine yet gentle figures, guardians of forests, springs, and mountains. They were not goddesses, but eternal creatures who lived in harmony with the earth, symbols of fertility, abundance, and life. It was Hermes, the messenger of the gods, who brought the infant Dionysus to them to hide him from Hera's wrath. The goddess, wife of Zeus, was furious. The child was born from the union of her husband with a mortal, Semele, and represented for her betrayal, humiliation, and revenge for Zeus's love affairs. For this reason, Hermes entrusted Dionysus to Nyssa and her sisters, so that they would protect him and raise him far from the eyes of the gods. It was Nyssa herself who nursed him and raised him in a green and sacred place, a place that bears her name, Mount Nyssa. And what if that Mount Nyssa were not just a distant myth? What if that plateau were actually Mount Sabicina, one of the highest in central Sicily? Perhaps its name survives even today, hidden in Caltanissetta. When the Arabs arrived in Sicily in the 9th century after Christ, they found a land already rich in history and mysteries. The archaeological parks of Sabicina and Jibal Gabib tell of prosperous villages dating back to the Bronze Age, between the 15th and 8th centuries before Christ, about 1,000 years before the Arab presence. And right in the heart of central Sicily, not far from Caltanissetta, stands the Roman Villa del Casale in Piazza Armerina, famous for its mosaics. In some of them, Dionysus appears surrounded by nymphs and mythological figures, testimony to how alive these legends were even here, in these lands. Perhaps, then, Caltanissetta did not simply mean the castle of women, but the castle of Nyssa, a tribute to that nymph who nurtured the god of wine and gave life to one of the most ancient and fascinating myths of the Mediterranean. Even in Arab legend, it is told that Caltanissetta was the residence of an emir surrounded by women. And what if that emir were actually Dionysus, the god of joy, pleasure, and life? A mystery that still seems to whisper among the hills of Caltanissetta, where history and myth merge, and every name hides a secret.